Hello, all. So, I want us to um, focus on reading now, and we're going to focus on describing connections between steps. We've been talking about main idea and historical sequencing, what comes first, what comes next, what comes last. So, we're going to put those two things together over the next couple of days. What's the purpose that the author is trying to convey to us, as well as how do the steps fit together? How does the process tell us the story? How does the process tell us the main point? Okay. So, first, I want you to focus on page 66. Now, if you have your book and it has this, I now understand that the books that were given to us are not all the same. So, some of you all have different pages in your books, and I am now clearly aware of that. I didn't know that before because we were all on the same pages before. And some of the books that they have given us to download have different pages in it, so it's a very weird scenario. But if you would this time use the pages here um, and just use your paper to write down your answers. First thing I want you just to look at is these three pictures. And I want you to ask yourself, are the steps in these pictures in order? And how do you know? And if they're not in order, then what should come first? What should come next? What should come last? What should be the order or the sequence? All right. And then I want you to look at page 67. I want you to look at back at the pictures that we just saw, and I want you to write the steps that are in order. What comes first, what comes next, what comes last. And think to yourself, why do the order of things, why do they have such importance? What comes first, what comes next, what comes last? Think about that. When you're done with that, I want you to turn to page 68 and I want you to read Start a Weather Wall. And by the way, it would be really cool if you actually started your own weather wall. I would love to see that. But start your own weather wall, read that. Um, if you have the book, underline the steps that you see in it. Look for the words that sequence text like first, next, then, then, last. Okay. And underline those or circle those and circle the clues that tell you the order for the rest of the steps. And then I want you to look at page 69. Don't worry about 70. We're just looking at 69. I want you to look back at the directions for the weather wall and fill in the steps the same that you would do on the first activity. And then I want you to look at the bottom here. I'm going to use my handy dandy pen here. Um, I want you to look here. I want you to think about what words will help you know the order of steps and the directions, okay? You can use your page 72 to go ahead and write about the words that help. Write your answer in the space on page 72. Now, I want you to just start thinking about it. You don't have to do the page 72 yet. But I want you to look, there we go. 72 is right there. It's just a space for you to write. Which we will do tomorrow, but I want you to start thinking about it. So for today, and if you're in the lesson, you're going to get to see the beginning steps to this lesson. But if you don't get to see that lesson, and I will record that lesson and also upload it after it's done, but it needs student discussion. That's why I don't want to record it without student discussion. But if you don't get to do that and you're doing this first, go back to 66, look at the look at the pictures. How do we sequence them? Are they in sequence? Are they not? If they are, how do you know? If they're not, what should be the order? Then you're going to write them in the order. Think about why it's important that steps are in order. Then you're going to read Start a Weather Wall on page 68. And then you're going to complete the steps for that by looking back in the text and seeing when things happen in order. And then you're going to just think about the short response at the bottom. What words help you know the order or steps in the directions? If you have any questions, I'm here for you. Don't stress and don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. I'm here to help you, and I will be on twice today. Plus, I will be reaching out for your one on ones, okay? See you later.